So there is a lone figure, an elven woman, struggling in a little rowboat on these choppy waves heading towards the green one, Mikalu, the island at the end of the Sylvian Isles.
I'll casually lean over the side of the boat. Are you coming or going, ma'am?
Oh, I do seem to be in need of some assistance. Could you please help me?
Well, it depends. Are you coming or going? Because we're coming. But if you're going, we won't be helping you very much at all.
Oh, I'm coming, I guess, if that's your definition.
Right. Hold on. I'll throw her a rope.
Yay. She pulls herself towards the boat and she tries to climb aboard. Is there like a little rope ladder or something you can throw her?
Sure. I'll throw over the rope.
Or does she have to like shimmy up the rope?
No, I'll give her a rope ladder. We've got one new passenger coming aboard now.
Okay.
I knew she would be coming.
Could have given me a heads up.
Narlo, what's wrong with her ears?
My ears? What do you mean? Is there something wrong with them? Are they broken?
They're pointy.
Yes, they are.
Does that make you more aerodynamic?
It might. It might. I've never attempted it.
You've never tried to fly?
I mean, I've tried before, but it just it's never quite worked out. Anyway, my name is Eclipse, and I'm looking for my uncle, Silverin. Perhaps you've heard of him? He's a great wizard, but I'm afraid he's gone a bit senile.
Your uncle's name
senile wizard.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What was your uncle's name again?
Silverin. With a C.
Haven't heard of him.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I'm sure you've heard of him.
Here it comes.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Let's see. He's just a very odd old fellow, but I hope that maybe you'll be able to help me find him. He's somewhere on Mikalu. The green one. I don't know which one you prefer.
I mean, right now, I look out. It's the closest island to us. We're like, it's that one right there. That's where we're going.
Yes, it is. It's quite green, is it not?
It's very green.
It is very green. Let us travel onward.
Do we have a choice?
Still moving.
Do you know where we can find him on the island?
He is somewhere off on a beaten path, probably. I heard he was headed towards a temple. That was the last thing he said. He's looking for a book, and I'm afraid he might be causing all this trouble.
Wait, what?
Let's see. Max is saying that we all sound robot-y.
Well, I'm a warforged. I'm supposed to sound robot-y.
Let's see. Well, let's continue until maybe it gets fixed.
I will pull out my spyglass since we're on a boat, and I will look at the island and see if I can see anything that we've been told about with regards to like overgrown vegetation and wild animals. You see
a beautiful island that is not overgrown at all. It is perfectly fabulous. And there are elves walking around, and they're all naked, and it's a paradise.
I will take the spyglass down and I will look at the island. Do I still see that with my?
You do not. You see an overgrown piece of land that is bright green still. I mean, you couldn't really tell the color from your rose-tinted spyglass, but there is no one in sight. The shores are littered with rocks, and it's a little odd. It looks very deserted.
I probably should have tried this out before I bought it. Put it back in my bag.
Okay.
Sapphira, come here. Meet our guest.
Yes, I'll start walking over. Hi, how are you?
I am a little disturbed and worried about my uncle. I guess I'm all right. I'm not damaged in any way, as Mr. Warforged would say. What is your name, Mr.
My name is Sapphira.
Sapphira. The large robot man. What is your name?
Ka-chunk.
Ka-chunk. What a lovely descriptive name. And you, fair sir, I don't know if you're fair or not. What is your name? Who are you?
Are you pointing in?
Yes, I am. I'm pointing at Smitty.
I'll bow. Narlo Nahaya, at your service.
Okay.
And of course, this one needs no introduction, but he'll do it anyway.
No introduction. Of course, you know who I am. The great Mancini. The world-renowned Mancini.
Uh-huh.
And I just kind of glare, or not glare, but glance over at Mancini a little bit. Just kind of like annoyed look. Like I've seen this before.
All right. So you come up on the shore, you can use her boat to like get closer, or you can just jump off and you can get to the shore however you want.
So are we all just kind of glossing over the fact that she said her uncle might be causing all this insanity on the green one?
It seems like. And the insanity is happening all over the islands.
So why do you think it might be your uncle causing this, and how would you suggest we stop him?
Well, I'm not sure how to stop him, but he, like I said, he went a bit crazy in his later years, and he is intent on finding this book and this spell to help, what did he say? Restore their natural order?
Friends, why do I always meet people like this? We meet people that have problems and no solutions.
I mean, if there were solutions to their problems, they probably wouldn't need us. This is what we do.
Yes, the future has told me about this.
All right. Yes, the future. Oh, all right. I
jump
have
off
no
the-
experience with the
Me as
future,
well.
mostly with the now and the past.
I'll jump into the water off the boat. As I land, little bits of steam come off where my body enters the water as I walk the shore.
Schmexer. Okay.
When we get on shore, I will turn to everybody, and if you give me about 10 minutes, I'm sure we can find the temple she speaks of.
Can
10
you
minutes to find
actually
the
do
temple
that?
and 15 minutes to do his hair.
Yes,
Oh.
as a ritual, I'm going to cast Guiding Hand. And a small
Okay.
little hand appears 5 feet in front of me, and I designate a landmark. So I'm going to say the temple, and it's going to beckon me and stay 5 foot in front of me at all times. Going.
Okay. If you don't know where the temple is, does that still work? I forgot
It has
to mention.
to appear on a map that exists.
Okay. I forgot to mention that, what is her name again? Not Melinda. She gave you a map of the island, but it doesn't show the temple. I apologize. I forgot that little note.
Okay. It says, when the hand appears, you name one major landmark that's on the same plane of existence as you. Someone in history must have visited the site and mapped it at one point in time.
Okay. Do you have to hold that map?
Nope.
Okay. Then you can find this. That's rather convenient for you. You travel along through the woods. There's a path, and you kind of follow it twisting and turning, and your hand, your little magic hand, points off into what looks like a deer path, if you know what I'm talking about, just like a single line, but it's all overgrown, and it's covered in brambles, and there are spots that are just barren, and it's total chaos along this path. And Eclipse says, "Oh, it looks like he's been here. I worry. I fear the worst."
You saying that this is his handiwork?
Oh, probably. He's working on a spell, and it hasn't been going very well.
I'll pull out the spyglass again and look at the path.
The path is well worn. It's quite wide. It's has lovely arcs of like cherry blossom type trees
But
over it.
In no way overgrown.
In no way overgrown. It's a lovely path that was well traveled.
I'm going to look at Chunk with the spyglass.
Ka-chunk, please describe yourself in better days.
What do you mean better days? I've never seen a bad day, except the day my dad died. That was sad. So, Ka-chunk is he doesn't know much different than what he is, because he was very isolated within the Warforged. He pretty much just, like, we're talking Edward Scissorhands kind of isolation. Like, he just hung out with his dad, was a field medic, made sure that people were healthy, and sent them a bond. The way he's more metal than he is organic, and there's a weird, well, not weird to him, but like there's a slight pulse of green light that kind of follows along the organic parts of his body as it's twined up, and most of his metal is fairly rusted. Anyone who's been traveling with him, as we all have for a while, knows that he's got a couple of gears that have seen better days, but no one knows where those gears are, so they can't oil them. So there's occasional awkward movements. He's 6.5 feet tall, and most of the time he presents as human, because he's very good at disguising himself. But because he's traveling with people that he trusts, and because Narlo pulled that one up before he really had a chance to kind of disguise self, he just kind of neglected to. So everyone has seen him currently in his Warforged glory.
And Narlo, when you look through, do you go by Nar or Narlo?
I go by Narlo Nahaya.
No. I'll do what I can. Narlo Nahaya, you see him wonderfully brilliant and brand new and just great. He's beautiful.
I very quickly check our new traveling companion to make sure that they're at least some version of what they appear to be right now and not something completely different.
She is what she appears to be.
Okay. I'll tuck it back in. I'll nod.
Okay. So Mancini, I assume you're leading the way with your magic hand?
I'm not even paying attention. I trust Narlo to keep me safe because we've traveled together a while. I'm just like following my hand, gazing into my crystal ball.
I'll trot to catch up so that I'm right on his like back right shoulder.
Eclipse, are you letting her be behind you all, or is she in the middle of you? Doesn't matter. This is a very, very narrow trail, so you're all like single file.
Yeah, I think she'd be in the middle.
Yeah, I'd probably be right behind her because I've got probably some height on her. Plus, I consider myself the healer of the group, so I want to be by the quote unquote precious cargo, which is typically the great Mancini, but right now is Eclipse, our guest.
I'll be behind Ka-chunk then.
All right. So as you follow the hand, you come to a clearing, and there is a slightly crumbling, not slightly crumbling, but a crumbling temple that seems to be made of these stone bubbles almost in shape.
Cool.
And it's not like your standard like square walls. It's made of little horseshoes put together, like brunk, brunk, brunk. And there's moss growing on it, and you hear clattering from inside. And at that point, your hand disappears.
Yep, my hand dissipates.
I'll step in front of Mancini at that point, and I'll look back over my shoulder. Mancini, Saphira, it'd be very good to know a little bit more about what we're facing right now.
Very well. I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic, and you sense, let's see, you sense nothing.
Well,
At the moment, you sense no magic.
Would you say we got pretty dirty traveling through the where we're traveling to the temple?
You got dusty a little bit, but not like muddy or anything. Just regular travel wear.
Okay.
Do you go inside?
How is the elf reacting right now?
Eclipse is staring in awe. This must be where he is. This looks like a temple. I believe this is where he is. We must go inside.
I'm going to. Can I make an insight?
I'm sorry, what?
Can I make an insight check on her?
Absolutely. I forgot to bust out my dice.
Oh.
Go ahead. What did you get?
I got a 19.
19. Nice. She is absolutely excited about this. She has only read about it. You know, you detect no lying from her. She really, really feels that Sylvan is in there.
I'm going to, as he's scoping her out, I'm going to scope out the temple and just do see what I can see perception wise.
All right. Go ahead.
14.
14. It's definitely a temple. It of no discernible deity. Sorry, I'm trying to get all this organized. It's not working very well. Okay. It's no discernible deity that you have heard of. But it is definitely what you have been looking for.
I will draw my rapiers, and I will slowly begin advancing to the door.
All
I grab his arm for a second, and I say, "Hold on 1 minute. I have one more."
All right.
And then all I'm going to do is make a flare of casting a spell. Because nobody's gonna know that I didn't make some attempt at this. And then I'm going to turn to him and say, "It is safe."
So, hearing that it's safe from the great Mancini, who I trust, I'm literally just going to walk to the door and just knock, because as far as I know, that's what humans and that's what like humanoids do. They're polite. So I just go and bang, bang, bang. Not like super loud, but like politely, but I want to make sure that whoever's in there hears us.
Okay. As you knock on this giant wooden door, it's way wider than it should be. It just kind of swings open inward as you bang on it.
The great Mancini, you have not let us down yet again. It is clearly safe.
I will sheathe my rapiers.
Okay. You
Yes, the future has told me it wouldn't be trapped.
We should do more of these. This is magnificently easy.
This is why we are the saviors.
Of the isles.
Savers. You're not the saviors.
Savers
You're the
of the isles.
savers.
Eclipse.
Sorry, I mishear things sometimes. Some. No. Sorry about
Someone
that.
slap him upside the head when he does that.
Yeah, I go and do that.
Ouch! Thank you.
Now, dear lady, I
Oh.
do expect to be paid for saving your uncle.
Oh, well, I haven't much coin, but
The-
I'm
The great Mancini. Clearly, if we save the island is ours.
That goes without saying.
How many of these islands have we saved thus far? We must be owners of like 15 islands at this point.
Well,
I think this is the one I'll be the king.
As the leader of the group, no,
I
I take the majority share. But
I'm sure that Melinda, the ruler of the Selvian Isles, I'm sure that she will reward you gratefully if you tend to all these troubles. I personally cannot help you, but it seems we share a common goal.
Eclipse, would you want to help me with something before we go into the temple?
What is that?
I have a seed I want to help you to help me plant before. I wanted to see if it grows. And then
All right. May I see said seed?
I hold out a bag of seeds, and then I pick out one and show it to her.
And these seeds are quite strange. They are made of crystal. These are crystal seeds.
Well,
I've only heard of these. Where did you get these?
I found these on our adventures while we were traveling.
I see. Well, you are quite lucky to have these. I would hold on to them if I were you. We could try and plant one and see if it would grow. I know not how to care for it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to look for just a clearing and then try planting one of the seeds.
Okay. You move aside some moss and dig into the nice soft earth, and you plant one of the seeds and you cover it back up. And do you have any water or anything?
It's
the first thing you do when you replant something.
Yep. Yeah, I pour some from a water skin or whatever, and then pour some onto the ground.
All right. You see from bulging under the moss a small sprout that is crystalline, and it crackles and bends and withers and crumbles and shatters.
Have I ever seen anything like this before?
No. Roll history.
That's a 21.
Nice. You have heard of it once or twice about crystalline plants, but
Okay.
it was very, very vague and very an old wives' tale.
Would it have stuck enough with me that I recognize how odd and unusual this plant is and want to keep a seed?
Yes.
Okay.
You would also know that it is not odd for it to die.
Okay. Hey, this thing, my dad told me a story about these one day. I thought he was lying because you all know how humans lie, right? But
well, except for me, of course.
Well, great Mancini, I don't even think you're human. You might be taking a human form currently, but you are so magnificent and great that
I transcend humanity.
You do. You even transcend and descend stairs. It's amazing.
I've seen him do it
twice.
At least once down and once up.
Yes.
Okay.
So these, I don't know if these seeds are magical or what they do, but I know that they typically sprout, birth, die. But I'm going to keep one if that's all right with everybody.
Sure. Did you want the one that was planted or a different one?
I'd like one that isn't planted so that maybe I can study when I get back to my workshop after I'm the king of the green one.
Okay, I'll give Ko-chunk one of the seeds.
Thank you,
All right.
Safra. I greatly appreciate this gesture as something this rare is. I was unlikely to come across it in my lifetime, much less have the opportunity to study it up close. Your kindness will not be forgotten.
I bow. Of course, friend.
So you stand
And
before.
I sort of try and return that bow, but like I get like a little bit, and then I just start creaking. I'm like, and I straighten back up.
Sounds like my dad.
Sounds like me in real life.
Sounds like me.
Can I briefly describe my character quick?
Yes.
Okay, my character is all blue skin, all blue robes, like longish eyelashes, like a woman. Yeah, like all blue skin, all blue robes, like dark blue robes. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All
Humanoid,
right.
yeah.
Great. So you stand before this open door leading into this unknown temple. It seems that the ceiling, it seems lit somehow.
Well,
What do we see inside?
You see inside the door, it's a small circular room, like a bubble that I mentioned before. You see inside a worn carpet on the floor. And
we can't
some
come out if we
tapestries.
don't go in. And I'll walk into the door.
All right. You instantly... No, I'm just kidding. Excuse me. So you walk in and you see before you another door, but there is no door attached to it. It's just an opening.
Is the
You go
worn
into
carpet?
this-
Does the worn carpet go to that door, or does it go anywhere else in the room?
No, it goes to that door. There's no other doors in this opening. It's like a mud room, sort of. But
Do you think we should take off our shoes?
I don't have shoes.
In this dirty place? I think not.
I'm just
So-
trying to be polite. Oh, okay.
Do we hear anything?
I'm not wearing shoes either.
I'll sort of
you
knock mine
don't hear
against
anything
the door
presently.
frame. Okay. On to the next room, I guess.
You walk into a very large round chamber. In the center of it hangs a crystal chandelier that is giving off a glorious light that is somehow transferred, that's like coming through as sunlight and reflecting off of them. So there's rainbows and clear light and all this beautifulness. Yes, I said that. And there are 3 other doors to your northwest, north, and northeast. And in the center of this chamber is a round table with what looks like an old map of all of the islands. You can see it from the door, of course, because it's topographical. And there are, how many? 6 chairs surrounding it. And as you get closer, you can see there's one more small chair next to the one at the north of the table.
This is really cool.
Mancini, did you know we would come to this map?
Of course I did. I always know. I foresaw this. Like I said, perfectly safe.
Yes, the fortunes, the future has told me this as well.
We are so lucky. I'll look over at Kachunk. Everything
We
we do.
are. They somehow keep us safe without ever wielding their weapons.
It's amazing to me.
All we need is your 2 rapiers and your wit.
Well,
The
2 of
sharpest
those 3
weapons
things are
around.
very, very sharp, my friend.
Yes.
I tell
Um,
Coach Unk, I can see the future in time. I can feel the turn of the universe. I know what's going to happen. We're going to be safe.
So then I don't need to check for traps.
you can if you want.
No,
I'm
you,
asking
you
Saffra.
should check for traps.
I don't need to?
No, you should.
Oh, I should. Okay.
Perhaps that's why we're going to be safe.
Maybe. Maybe that was part of the future that was not quite seen, a little fuzzy.
Time is very, very
I
weird.
would. Yes.
So timey-wimey.
I will well, you know, I'm just gonna sort of randomly like cautiously walk around the table and the chairs and just kind of like stretch out a little bit and kind of see if anything gets triggered or see if I see anything.
Okay. These chairs are larger than normal.
Okay.
You detect, there's nothing going on. And it's just these chairs, and they don't move. They're fixed to the ground with rock and crystal that is now covered in moss. Each leg of the chair is just fixed to the ground.
Sort of like elephant feet looking is like what I get a picture of. Cool. So
a little more sharp and rocky.
Including the small one?
Including the small one. The small one has no legs. It is just like a straight pillar with a little seat carved in it.
Got it.
So while they're looking around, I'm going to ritually cast Detect Magic again.
Okay. You get glowing from everywhere.
Oh, I see. Magic.
Let's see, what school would it be? I don't know if enchantment is a school of magic.
Yeah,
it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just enchanted all over the place. The chandelier that is spotless. Everything else kind of has moss on it. The table just glows, and it is blinding to you.
Oh, that table holds so much magic. Be careful.
like,
Very
how
wise.
be careful.
I am going to get out my spell book and start casting. Oh, where is it? Where I prepared it. Yep, I did. All right, I'll start casting Identify on the table.
Casting what?
Identify.
Identify. Can you explain that to me a little bit?
So it tells me exactly what the spell is that's on the table.
Okay.
And I have to touch the table. Learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement. If it's got charges left, you learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. Whether or not the item was created by a spell. Yeah.
Okay, the item was created by a spell. It requires some attunement, but you think that you are not qualified in a way to attune to it. It requires a special race. And
I should know what race that is.
Okay. What race was it? Oh my gosh. Come on. You can do it. Half horse, half person.
Centaur.
Thank you.
I'm going to go Satyr, but Centaur is also correct.
Either.
You must be a centaur to use this. And what's the effects? What are the effects of it?
It is. It has a location spell on it, but it is not currently active.
There is a location spell on this table. But you must be a centaur to use it. And then I go back to.
It's
looking
right
at
there.
mine.
You don't need the spell. The table is right in front of us. It seems like a very useless spell. I'm going to take out my spyglass. Let me see. And I'm going to see if I see any centaurs sitting at the table.
You see centaurs sitting at the table.
Oh, this is so cool.
You see images hovering over the map on various locations. They're kind of like
Who's
glowing
in the small
and,
chair?
a little teeny dragonborn.
The small chair is for a dragonborn, I think, or at least was.
Oh, I thought everybody knew that.
Oh, I didn't. I should have asked you.
How come you can see them and I can't?
Oh, I've got this cool spyglass thing. I mean, I don't even know if it's real. Here, try it out.
Okay.
And I go up to Chunk. Friend, you must unlock your third eye.
Wait, I have 3 eyes?
He sticks it in the middle of his forehead.
Where? How? Is
The
it
eye
behind?
of the mind. It's
I
the
don't
eye
have
of the
a mind.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
I go to Chunk as well. It's not a third eye. It's more science. You can bet more judge time and decide what's going to happen in the future.
Ah,
You
science.
hear at this moment someone. What is your passive perception, everyone?
15.
12.
So I have a really good passive perception, I believe. Yes, 20.
Okay.
Damn.
Mancini, you hear off to the northwest room some rumbling almost. It doesn't shake the floor, but it's definitely odd, and it sounds like some sort of creature.
I see.
Are
There's
you
a
using your
creature
third
over
eye?
there. I was, yes. There's some sort of creature beyond here. Large.
Well, that's kind of obvious because once we leave this space, there's going to be creatures beyond this space. Wow, these third eyes really aren't what they are cracked up to be.
Coach Chunk, please come here and bend down a little bit.
Okay.
I just tap him on the shoulder and cast Gift of Acrity, which lets you add a D8 to your initiative roll.
Okay.
Whoa, shit. Sorry, kids.
Oh.
Ship. I said ship with a puh.
So you feel yourself going a little faster in time than you normally would be. So you feel like faster than you normally would be.
Sweet.
Like nothing can surprise you.
So I'm gonna feeling kind of energized and being super curious about these doors. I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna knock on all of them and see if any of them do the same thing the first one did, because you never know.
Okay, the first one over to your northwest has no door. It opens into a hallway with a door. Like there are chambers.
Cool.
So which way did I hear the sound from?
The northwest.
So the one
through
the hall. That is where the creature is.
You hear it again. It is much louder.
It's getting closer.
It is coming from the third door on your left. I mean, the second door on your left. I'm sorry, it's the middle door.
It is coming from the second door on the left.
Narlo Nahaya.
Yes.
Are you ready with your rapiers and your wit?
Well, these 3 things are ready.
All right. Let's kill ourselves a creature. So I'm just gonna go straight to that door and like I'm gonna try and open it like politely, because like I understand the point of sneak attack, but I don't fully get all the nuances. So I'm gonna kind of like tiptoe to the door.
Okay.
For you, still like,
and then just kind of like open it, or
Okay.
or at least try and like whatever mechanism it is to open. I'm going to try and use that. And if it's a push door, then I'm just pushing in.
It's a push door.
Sweet, I'm pushing in.
As you open it, you hear what you determine to be snoring. And you look in and you see a ginormous bear sleeping on the floor, just passed out, just kind of like, and like this enormous snoring. And there's animals all over the place, little bunny rabbits sleeping and birds up in the rafters.
All right, I'm gonna whip around really quickly and look at Narlo Nahaya and go, it's safe.
Pass it back to the others.
So I'm going to close the door and just go down the hallway to the next one while relaying that room is full of animals.
Just like
but they're
I
alive.
said. Just like I said. You do not doubt the third eye, my friend.
I just don't doubt the great Mancini, but I'm still not sold on this third eye thing.
It's more of a science than anything.
Blah, science.
I'll stand on guard outside the
Magic.
the bear door as he goes down.
Okay. So there's a door to your left and a door to your immediate front.
I don't want to wake the animals, so I'm going to go to the door that's directly in front of me because I don't want to possibly disturb something in another room that would wake up the sleeping animals.
All right. You go through the door. It's another push door. I forgot to mention that these all have like the rings on them that you can pull them closed with.
Mm-hmm.
You can just like push it open. And you see inside, it's a large room. There are books and a table, and there's a mirror hooked up to some sort of strange device that is long since rusted. You cannot even tell what it was. And the mirror is all dusty, and you see hanging from the walls there are tapestries. One of them is a sun with all sorts of really cool designs and crystals in it. On the other side is a moon, just as brilliant and fabulous as the other.
Right.
And
so
you also see what looks to be a bed made of straw, but the straw is like really not in the best of condition.
kind of like almost molding.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I use my Arcana to see if the sun and the moon scene remind me of anything that I've seen or heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I give him advantage on that and help?
Go ahead.
Well, sadly, my Arcana bonus is better than my roll, but it's still a 12.
It's still a 12? Okay. These don't seem to ring any magical bells.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't even worried about the magic. I just wanted to know the story.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Narlo Nahaya.
Yes.
I always think you're just mumbling right there.
Do you recognize any of these symbols or anything?
I'll come. I'm keeping an eye on the door of the bear.
Great Mancini and Saffron said it was safe.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I shall come to you then. I'll walk over to the end room. I'll take. I don't actually know if I got my spyglass back, but I'll either pull it out or take it back.
I would give it back to you.
I'll take it back and I'll look and see if I see anything with the tapestries that's different.
There are the tapestries are just in better condition.
Do I recognize anything about them, just historically or anything?
You'd have to roll history.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So is that a language written on these?
No, just pictures, like a stained glass window, but in cloth.
13. So,
13. You recall something about a sun and a moon vaguely from history. Oh,
Aw.
little noob. Hi, noob. Sorry. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. My mom is showing. Sorry, my mother is. No, not my mom, but my.
Your maternal instinct.
There you go. That
Got
thing.
you. Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
All right, love you. Nice, beautiful boy.
So.
Oh, sorry. We need a hug. My bad.
This makes me so happy. Oh, baby. What a nice hug. Sorry, he can't even hear me.
You can't.
They can't hear me. Anyway, okay. Distracted. Yeah, the tapestries just look newer. You vaguely remember something about a sun and a moon, but you can't remember what.
It's not ringing any bells. Hey, wizardly types, come and look at these.
I come over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking at them?
Yes.
They're tapestries. There are other rooms to explore if you'd like, or you can head back and check out the other larger rooms.
I'm still curious about the mirror in this room.
Okay.
So
Different room.
I'm gonna go and use one of my many tool sets to just kind of like dust it off and clean it off. And as I look into it, I'm looking specifically for one thing.
What are you looking for?
My third eye, because the great man seems to have one. So how big is this mirror? Like,
It's a full length mirror.
Okay, cool. So how heavy? Yeah, I can probably carry it.
It's like one on like the stand where it can swivel back and forth.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna like try and like lean up and kind of like look to see if I can see the back of my head.
You cannot.
Damn it.
Oh, watch it.
That's okay. Sam.
I'll go over it. How heavy do you say the mirror was?
It's about 6 feet long. It's got a stand. It can go forward and back.
Go forward and back. Is there any way I can like swivel it to like reflect one of the tapestries?
Sure, you can move it, but it's kind of hooked up to all these tubes and things. So you may have troubles kind of, it's sideways and the tapestries are here.
Got it. Okay.
So you can't really.
Do you want us to disconnect those cables? What do you want to do with the mirrors, Narlo Nahaya?
I thought maybe something would be shown to us in the reflection of the tapestries, but I don't think now, looking at this more closely, that is what this is intended for.
What's behind the mirror?
What's behind the tapestries? I'll run over. When he says that, I'll run over and look behind the tapestries.
Go ahead.
Can I flip the mirror?
It's up against a wall. So you can get about 2 feet and it goes thunk.
Okay.
Do you touch the surface of the mirror as you're doing this?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? What would you like me to roll? Because I think typically, because Kachunk is actually really, really smart, and I think he would go with the side with the intention not to break the mirror.
Okay.
But you never know. He could slip.
His thumb slips and touches the surface of the mirror, and it ripples a little bit.
Narlo Nahaya! Portal!
You look over and you just see like a human shape behind one of the tapestries, like flopping all around. Nothing under here, unless there's something under there.
Yep. Not
the Great Mancini, Safra, get in here soon, quick!
Can I make a Arcana check on the mirror?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, of course it's a portal. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it's made of water.
20 total.
Oh, 20. You sense that it used to be a portal, but if you really try and go through it, it's like if you try and go through baking soda really fast, baking soda and water, it's like thunk, 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 but it still ripples a little bit, but it is no longer functioning.
Okay. This used to be a portal, but it no longer works.
Wait.
I knew that.
Narlo Nahaya. Oh, just wait. The great Mancini. You will have the answers. You have all the answers. You know everything.
Thank you.
Narlo Nahaya thought that if maybe we took the mirror and reflected one of these tapestries, do you think maybe we could travel to a different land with that?
You guys are so hung up on these tapestries. I love it.
These are the chairs.
Tapestries are beautiful works of art that require decades of craftsmanship and skill. They are to be respected and appreciated.
Absolutely.
Narlo is now behind the other one, completely tangled up in all the weavings. Yes. Respected.
Why don't we just fling it around and tear on it? That's respecting it properly.
I would be able to rewind of these cables to where they weren't broken before if we move the mirror.
Okay. Is that like physically rewind it?
I was going to cast mending, but I meant mending.
Oh. I'm not sure exactly what that would entail. Like, would everybody be able to like see that they're fixed, or is this something that you can do in your mind?
I just meant mend. I would cast mending to fix it.
Okay.
Like regular mending cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay, they're hooked up. There are parts of the cables. They're like brass cables, like you would see in like clawfoot bathtubs. I just realized my alarm was going off. Sorry. And it had been for like 3 minutes. But it's
hopefully it's not the bear's alarm clock.
Kind of fixed, but it's not working.
Seems
something special to work it.
Physically in correct alignment, no. But something magical. You two need to do.
Have you tested that tapestry yet? Narlo?
I did. I looked at both of them.
All right.
Do my seeds look different in the mirror? I'll hold out one of my seeds. Okay.
No.
I'll hold out my spyglass and I'll see if there's anything with the like construction of the mirror that isn't there now. Like, is there something else we need to do that I can see?
Yes, you see purple energy that looks like magic running these pumps in these. When you look without, there was these containers with these little bellows in it. And you see them working just fine, and you see electricity and glowing all around it.
Okay, I'll explain that to the group and then hand around the spyglass to anybody that wants to see.
Okay.
If you want to wait 11 minutes, I could try and identify this again.
You hear a rustling outside. I mean, you could spend 11 minutes and wait for him to identify it, but Eclipse is getting a little antsy, and she goes, I need to find my uncle. He's certainly here. This is exactly where he wanted to be.
Well,
how do we know if he's in the portal until we open the portal?
Because it doesn't seem that the portal works.
That's how he's stuck in there.
Well, little elf girl, why don't you lead the way then?
Lead the way. I wouldn't know where to go.
I'm gonna smack as she's getting stuck. I'm gonna give her a light tap across the head because that always helps me.
I grab her hand and lead to a different room to check a different room.
Okay. Do you go down the hall or do you go to a different room in the hall?
No, a different room that we're checking out. So not down the hall, it's another door.
Okay, just another door. Okay, you go to the first one on your left. You see a pile of gems with what looks to be like a blanket on top. And you see tapestries of fierce dragons draping the walls.
Okay, I leave the door open, then go back to the other room and say there's a lot of gems in the room that I just saw.
Gems are good.
Yes, they are.
Gems are great.
You can collect them if you'd like. They are worth monies.
There's a blanket over them.
There, it looks like a little bed. It's like curled up into a little nest.
Does it look like the size of a little dragonborn?
It does.
I think this is where the little dragonborn slept.
I'll cast Mage Hand and pick them up.
The gems.
Yes.
Nothing happens. You just pick them up, and they are lovely. They're shiny. One of them has a bite taken out of it.
I'll pick up the blanket, and I'll put the blanket in a pack.
Okay. It's very, very musty smelling.
Shake it out a little bit before I put it away.
Okay.
Another room, perhaps.
Another room. Do you go across the
Yes,
hall
let's check
next
another
to the?
room.
Okay. I'm assuming you're staying away from the sleeping bear?
Yep.
Okay, so you're on the other side of the hall. You come into a room full of trophies and medals, and you see tapestries of Pegasi. They are rushing through the air, and you see Pegasus tapestries and all these gold and glittering objects.
What kind of metals? And like, is this just like chunks of metal, or is this like suits
Awards.
of armor?
These are awards.
Oh, like
from
actual,
like arena
like
fights.
Sweet. Okay. Kachunk really dislikes competition and bragging, yet he somehow puts up with the great Mancini. I'm. Oh man, no, I'm not gonna. No, you know what? Okay. You call evens or odds, and that will depend on how foolish he's going to be. And I will roll fairly. I rolled a 15. So evens or odds.
I had evens.
Okay. So you all notice as like Kachunk starts almost vibrating, and you watch him kind of lift up his hands, and you've all seen this before. He loves to use heat metal to destroy people's trophies. But you see that he's kind of restraining himself. So I will leave it up to my party members who have traveled with me whether or not they want me to melt the trophies or leave them be.
Seeing him reacting like he normally does, I just and then I go to the elf woman and I say, "Little elf girl, come with me."
Little, probably older than you by half a century.
Follow me.
Age isn't size.
What is he doing? I'm very concerned. What is he doing with his hands?
He's fine. He does this all the time. Come, we will find your uncle. We must commune with the spirits.
Whenever I see him start to do the heat metal, I always just very carefully cover both my rapiers and like walk back away from him.
Okay. So do you go into the last room in the hall, or do you go out of the hallway?
I'm taking her back to the room with the big table.
Okay.
And I'm telling her to sit down, and I sit down next to her.
Okay.
And I look at her, and I put my crystal ball in between us, and I go, "Now tell me everything about your uncle. What's his prized possession? Does he carry any weapons with him?"
Weapons? Oh no. He is a magic man, so I guess you could say that he always carries weapons, but he abhors evil and violence. I've
What does he
told you,
wear?
a cloak and robes. Sometimes when he gets a little hot, he just takes them all off and wanders around naked. It's rather disturbing.
Does he have any jewelry he likes to wear?
I am not certain. I don't remember quite well.
I ain't getting nothing from her, huh?
Not really.
Saphira, let's check out the last room. I'll gesture to Saphira to check out the last room with me.
Okay.
Okay, I'll follow.
So while you're all doing your things, you hear Kachunk just sort of like audibly sigh very, very loud, and you just hear all the trophies hit the ground. It's like full on table wipe of like every trophy that is standing, it is either knocked off of its pedestal, or at the very least it is tipped over and no longer upright.
Okay.
So when that happens, I'm used to him like melting things, like just gooing. But when like things make the big boom, I'll be like, oh no. And I'll run over in front of the door with the bear, with my rapier is just ready.
Okay. You hear snoring from the room. Nothing has awakened the bear.
While they're all doing that, I'm with what was her name again?
Eclipse.
Eclipse. So I'm with Eclipse, and I'm telling her to picture her uncle in her mind. Focus on him. Think of him. And then while she does that, I'm going to cast Detect Thought.
Oh, okay. Can you explain that to me a little bit?
So I get to see her for the first. I initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature. What is most on its mind. That's why I'm telling her to put it at the forefront of her mind. So I don't have to sit there and use action, and she doesn't get a save. If she doesn't do that, then she gets to get saved because I'm going to probe deeper.
If she doesn't,
if she thinks of her uncle and pictures him in her mind, then I can read her thoughts.
Okay. You get a brief glimmer of disdain, and then she puts up like a mental wall.
Interesting. I'm going to probe deeper. He gets a wisdom save.
Okay. Oh, where's my dice? Oh, it's on. Okay. Yeah. What are her stats? Oh, okay. That's 18.
Yeah, she blocks me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
She also knows that I tried to probe her mind.
How dare you? This is my thoughts. How could you?
I am trying to locate your uncle. Why are you resisting me?
It's none of your business. I mean, what my thoughts are about my uncle. Yes, let us continue to find him.
Insight
and
check.
She gets up and she storms away.
Insight check. I don't.
Okay. Was somebody going into the last room?
Me and Coach were.
Okay. You see the remnants of a tree. And it's old and it's withered, but it seemed to have been a great tree. And you see on the ground seeds. They're just regular seeds, little black seeds. One or two of them had sprouted, as the ground is mostly dirt in this room. You see the tapestries are fields of orchards and just horses grazing on green pastures.
I'll use Mage Hand to pick up the seeds.
Okay, you pick up the seeds.
And Cold Chunk, you just see the seeds suddenly in my hand. It's like I forwarded time, and the seeds were in my hand where a second ago they weren't.
Okay. They sprout into saplings. Is that like what it does?
No, I was just picking up the seeds, so I'll put them in the
ground. So it looks like time went forward, right? Like seeds were on the ground, then magically in your hand, but I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Now you know what they do.
Just move time again?
Yes.
I guess we all move time though, don't we? Because time move us.
Yes, we're all moving through time 1 second per second.
Through time? Whoa. So if you move through something, and Ka-Chunk just starts like getting kind of lost in thought. How does it look like there is something specific about this tree that caused the withering?
No, just age and neglect.
Okay. All right.
At this point, you hear Eclipse raise her voice and chastise Mancini.
So Sarah, why do we always have to rescue the great Mancini from himself?
I predicted he was going to be in trouble again.
Are you sure you're not a fortune teller? You seem to be more accurate than he is.
I am a fortune teller, just in a different way Mancini is. He uses more divine magic, where I use more science.
I'm guessing somebody closed his third eye. So, Ka-Chunk's going to go out. Eclipse, what's the matter? What did the great Mancini do this time? And I'm going to shoot the great Mancini like a disappointed parental nod, just like a light head down and just a shake of my head, and then continue having a conversation with Eclipse.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
What did he do?
I can't believe it. He tried to read my thought. He invaded my mind.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Mancini, these are the times where you lose the great.
This woman is hiding.
She's what?
Hiding something.
Oh, Eclipse, what are you hiding?
I'm hiding nothing. I have a knife in my belt. What do you mean hiding?
What does the knife do besides cut? Is it magical? Can I study it? I'd like to look at it.
You may look at as long as it remains in my hands.
Okay.
I'm not sure I trust you anymore because of this great man.
You can leave. You really haven't proved to be very helpful.
At all.
Mancini, with your perception, you hear, lovely goblet. You hear rustling from the room directly to the north.
Is that the one with the bear?
No.
Oh.
You are out in the main chamber now.
It's sort of the center door.
Narloniha. This door. There is someone behind it. Or something.
Is that one sleeping too?
I do not know. Let me check. No.
From door to door and everything's sleeping, and then I just stand there and nothing wake it up.
No, this one is not sleeping.
No, all right.
Show care.
I will stand in front of the door and listen.
You hear mumbling and papers rustling. What do you hear? What's behind the door?
There's mumbling and papers rustling.
That must be my uncle. We must go
Let's
in.
find out.
Go ahead. After you.
She rushes
will.
to the door and pushes past you and opens the door and goes in.
What do I see?
You see an old man, just like frizzy hair, like Albert Einstein, Christopher Lloyd status. And he is furiously going through these papers. His back is turned to you. It's just like, and he is just, I just can't know what's the book, mustachioed. Oh, what is it? And you can't quite make out all of his words. But all of a sudden, you see Eclipse take out her dagger and start running towards Silverin with her dagger raised.
Ve quanto. All right. I will, as I see her doing that, I will cast
can I see her?
Grease.
You will what?
Can
I'm
I
gonna
see
cast,
her?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm going to cast Grease underneath her as she's running towards the old man.
Okay.
One of my 3 spells.
What does that do?
So it just makes it basically like super slippery, and she needs to succeed in a dex save, or she's going to fall prone. It's very low because I'm not a spellcaster.
Oh my gosh, she rolled a natural 1.
Nice.
Greek lightning.
She falls to the ground and cuts her arm on her knife. And, how dare you! I must get to him. And she tries to scramble to her knees and slip forward and crawl towards him. And Silverin, at this point, you assume it's Silverin, he turns and he sees him. What is she doing here?
I'm going to. Can I see her? Can I see her?
Yes. If you've come into the room, you probably can. The door is very large, like the other doors. So
She needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
what?
She needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I am going to cast. How hard do I want this? Suggestion.
Okay, that's a 19.
And tell her. Jesus. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Who is she to you?
She's evil. I can't remember his voice. Deeper.
That's right. We don't know it.
Oh, it's okay. Good. She is evil. She has been pursuing me across the aisles. Please save me from her. And he is obviously not an elf.
I will jump up, knowing where I put the grease down. I'll jump up just between them. Like if there's a desk or something, I'll jump up between them, and then just hold while hopefully the rest of my party comes up with some magic here.
I'm going to. I'm just going to walk up behind her, and grab her by the leg, and dangle her.
Okay. She is thrashing wildly, so let's do an opposing strength check.
Sure.
If you're also in the same area, because it's everyone in the area, you're also going to have to do a dex save on the grease.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to get mud wrestling real quick with the 2 of you.
That is a nat 20.
It barely beats my 6, but it beats my 6.
So she is able to wriggle free, and you roll your dex save. That
would be 12.
Oh, okay, just missed on the grease.
So as she's thrashing around, she manages to escape. I get thrown off balance because I didn't know that he cast grease.
Oh, okay. So she tries to flip out of your hands and she fails miserably, falling on the ground in the grease pit again. Not pit, but in the grease trap again, stabbing herself in the arm again.
I tried to tell you all that she was hiding something.
Why is she
third eye? Third eye.
Eclipse. You know that when wielding a weapon, you are supposed to attack your enemy, right?
Of course. And she's like doing the army crawl and like and her arms are slipping out from under her. And so she like tries to swim through it and she is desperately trying to get to Silverin. So she takes her knife. Narlonia. You were in between Silverin and Eclipse.
Yep.
Okay. Move, you great oaf! He must die.
Oaf? I am slender and wispy like my father, the flame, and I am not moving anywhere until you tell us. Look, we can kill you or we can kill him. We are very, very skilled. So this isn't going to come down to you fighting him fighting you. This is going to come down to you convincing either us to kill you or to kill him. So you tell us what's going on. Since you've been lying this whole time.
You hear the voice from behind you. Oh, she is just trying to kill me. I'm only trying to restore the natural order. Please save me.
Insight check on him.
All right.
11.
Oh, you just passed it.
Ooh.
He is telling the absolute truth. He is terrified. He is just trying to do good. He believes that he is doing good.
I think he's telling the truth.
How big is Eclipse? Like, how tall is Eclipse?
Eclipse is close to 6 feet.
Oh,
okay, cool. So now that I've seen her up close, I'm going to cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
As Eclipse.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm hoping that basically it will throw her for a loop long enough that I can grasp her by both legs.
While
we're both still on the ground.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if she's exactly average. So she is mildly confused, but has recognized as a magic user her, being around magic users, she recognizes that it's just a disguise and is like, you won't fool me. And she continues trying to swim through the grease.
I'm gonna pull out a gem from my pocket. Okay. I'm gonna expend 3 charges from my gem of brightness and blind her. She needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Or no, 1 charge. A brilliant beam of light shoots at her.
15.
Yeah, she saves barely.
Oh man. The beam goes off and she sees it coming. Closes her eyes and turns away. And does she make another dex throw to see if she can stand up?
That is a good question. I believe she has to until, let's see. Yeah, as long as she's continuing to end her turn in there. So she has not yet stood up. She has not been able to leave it. But once she gets up, she can leave it. And when she leaves it, she can stop making saves.
Okay.